What moment did you realize the Army wasn't what you thought it was going to be?
um, I think it trickles, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I was fortunate enough to experience two armies, like conventional army and then
Yeah.
special operations non-conventional. With that said, though, I will say like that first deployment, like you really kind of realize that like everyone's just trying to make do with what they got, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's food provided and all that, but like when it's such a when you're deployed and you're at the core of humanity and it's like eat, sleep, don't die, and that's all that matters,
Yeah.
you really see like your leaders in a sense for who they are, and they're struggling just as much as you're struggling, and everyone's just trying to make it through the next day. You know what I mean?
What up, battle buddies? Welcome to the Combat Carl Show. Real vets, real talk, slightly inappropriate. I'm your host, Combat Carl, Army vet, and your favorite supply guy. On the show, we're gonna cover it all, from your first pair of boots to your final salute. No filters, no fluff, just vet stuff.
Combat Carl Show, let's go! Show, let's go.
What up, battle buddies? Welcome to the Combat Carl Show. I'm your host, Combat Carl, with my good friend, Staff Sergeant Stefan Egan. What's up, bro? How you doing today?
How's it going, man? It's been a minute. Good to see you.
It's been a long time, my friend, long time. I could not wait to tell your story, my friend. You one of the first guys I met in the unit at 164. And I just want to tell you a story, man. I thought you was doing dope. I thought you were doing dope afterwards. I've been checking. We check on each other every now and again, just keep in contact and whatnot. And I'm super proud of my friend. And I just want to tell you a story, my dog. So how you been, my dog?
Likewise, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, well, staying busy, living the dream, as they say, right? It's been
Right.
a long time coming, but finally
Yeah.
starting to level off and move in the right direction.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, man, we're gonna get right into it, man. Things I like to ask some of these guys, man. Let's go with when the first time you were the first time we ever met. You know what I'm saying? When you first got to the unit.
Man,
When
I,
I
I
first got
think
there, excuse me.
we were deployed, right? To
Right.
Mosul or northern Iraq at the
No,
time,
it was
right?
Baghdad. It was Baghdad and
Oh, no, it was Baghdad. It was Baghdad. That was the second one. So we've been on a few
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Yeah, it was Baghdad. That is right. Yeah. Um, I was working in the support platoon, and you came in
Mhm.
on the supply side, right, just under Fraser.
Yeah,
That's correct. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I was moving around like they had us roommates for a minute. I think I was your first roommate
yeah. Yeah, you were,
when you
dog.
first
You were
showed
my
up.
first roommate.
Yeah, yeah.
And then me and
Welcome to the
Clemens,
unit.
and then Bernie, and then yeah, they became
Yeah,
I became roommates with them guys, whatever. And yeah, man.
good old
So
Clem. Good old Clemens.
let's get into it, man. Where are you originally from, bro?
I'm originally from Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
Mm. And then,
What?
spent most of my life in Minnesota. Joined the Army out of Minnesota, though.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And what year did you join the military?
Uh, 2006, June 2006.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Went
why did
to
you okay? How long did you wind up serving for? How long was your actual, you know what I'm saying? How long, yeah, excuse me. How long did you wind up serving for?
10 years.
10 years. My
Yeah, 10.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I only got 8, man. So yeah. All right. Okay. My next question is, okay, from how long did you serve to why did you wind up joining the military?
You know, um, it's a funny thing. It was for a girl at the end of the day. Um, I was,
Oh,
she's my wife
different.
now. Yeah,
Okay.
she's
All
my
right.
wife now. But ultimately, like I knew she was with a guy that could support her very well. And I knew doing what I was doing, I couldn't support her. So I needed to find something stable. And the Army provided that at the time.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
different. Yeah. Well, hey, you got to get your lady. I hear that. So, how long have you been
Yeah.
married now?
Shit, 18 years in April. Been a minute.
That's be- that's beautiful, my boy. That's beautiful, though.
Yeah.
That's hard to do though.
Very
Like,
lucky.
I mean, I'm gonna talk about
Yeah,
this subject later on in life, but like to keep your first wife doing it for like through a
yeah,
military stint is like
yeah.
hard to damn
Shit
do.
is work, son. Shit is work.
So was anybody in your family? Did you grow up around a military town?
No, no. So my dad was in the army for a little bit. He actually went AWOL, spent some time at Fort Leavenworth.
Okay,
Um, yeah, but that's the extent to my family's military career. Not much.
okay, all right, all right. So what is your MOS, my friend?
So I joined as a 88 Mike transportation specialist, and then I reclassed to 35 Lima, which was counterintelligence special agent.
Ooh, my
Slightly different
boy.
work.
That's what you went missing, man. Where Egan go? Where
Yeah.
that man go?
Yeah, slightly different work.
That's what's up, my dog. All right, all right. So why did you choose Army instead of any other branch, though?
Because I was a fat body. That was the only people that would take me. Just straight up. It's the only people that would take me.
That's real. That's real. Hey, that's honest. That's the first one. That's the first time right there. All right, all right. Let me
Yeah,
pause
yeah.
it right quick. That's good. That's good. No, okay. Let me ask you this question. Growing up, though, what did you want to be as a kid?
A lawyer, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay,
either a
okay,
lawyer or a football player. One of the two.
okay, okay. So why you didn't? Why let's talk about why you didn't go with the lawyer stuff? Because I mean, I know you pretty well. You pretty good. You got good arguments. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah, I
dispute and
appreciate
debate it.
that.
Get what I'm saying on a subject base. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
Yeah, yeah,
So why didn't you
yeah.
pursue that? Like go jag shit or
School, man.
whatever the hell.
I partied too much. It's fun. I
Oh,
enjoyed partying too much. I couldn't do the school thing.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. All right, let me ask you to throw a curveball at you real quick. Let me get your top 5 military movies.
Oof. I'll be straight with you, man. Like I don't since I got out, like I haven't been too in depth on the military side of things. Like I tried to leave a lot of that behind me, just
Okay.
because of my experiences on my second MOS. Um,
Yeah.
you know, it, I'm still at a point now where it brings up a lot of uncomfortable memories or uncomfortable reactions, right? Um,
Right.
but I do enjoy Major Pain. um, I do
All
enjoy,
right.
uh, you know, Sniper wasn't bad. Black Hawk Down. I mean, classics I think that are now, but I don't find myself watching too much of them these days.
Okay. I dig that. I dig that. All right, let's talk about basic training, man. Where'd you go to basic at, bro?
Fort Sill, Oklahoma, in the midst of
Okay.
summer. It was brutal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What was your first week of basic like?
Terrifying, man. I was scared. I was
Yeah.
scared. I wasn't comfortable with myself as a person, right? So here I am around all these dudes that I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was scared, definitely. And at the time, I mean, this was 20 years ago now. Basic was vastly different than what it is now. It's changed a few
Yeah.
times, right,
Yeah.
since we went through. And I'd say
Yeah.
the drills were a little bit different than they are now.
I dig. I dig.
Yeah.
That's honest. That's honest. I mean, like, yeah. Like, okay. Let's give me your worst day of basic. How about that?
My worst day of basic. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was the first day, like when you finally get to your platoon and they're drilling you, they're in your shit, and then we're all having to go take that first shower, and we all have a
Oh
towel
yeah.
wrapped around us, and they drop us, right? So here we are, fucking 60 dudes in the bay, all doing push-ups, just nuts slapping on the tile, like uncomfortable as all hell, man. Uncomfortable as all hell. That was my worst
I
day of
never told
basic.
anybody that story. Everybody does it, y'all. So don't look weird now. Everybody had to do it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Don't. It's just honestly, we all had to line up. You know what I'm saying? That little thin ass
yeah,
brown towel and take a
yep,
fucking shower quickly,
yes, sir.
quickly.
The hot spots.
That really is. When the drill sergeant said, y'all better get nothing but in the cattle truck," that's what did it for
Yeah,
me. I was like, what did I sign up for?
yeah. What they just tell me to do?
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Let's talk about where all the places you've been stationed at, bro. Or can you talk about all of them? The ones
So
you can't talk about. How about that?
yeah, you know, at the end of the day, like home base was home base, right? So
Right.
there was tons of deployments and random ops that we did, but I did basic at Fort Sill, AIT at Fort Bliss for 88 Mike, got
Okay.
stationed at Fort Stewart. From Fort Stewart, then I got placed at home base was Fort Gordon, Augusta. There's a
Okay.
small intel unit that's based out of there, and that's kind of was base for us.
Okay.
So
I
I didn't
dig it.
have a lot of duty stations per se, right? It was just a lot of deployments.
I dig it. I dig it.
Mhm.
Now, without saying where you was at, how many deployments do you have, good sir?
How many deployments? Not 5.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's you.
Mhm.
Hey man, you got me. Winner. Winner.
It's not
Winner.
a contest, man. We all played
It's
a
not a
role.
contest. No, no, no. It's not. It's not. I'm just saying. Hey, you win. All right. All right. Let's talk about. Damn. Shit. Let's talk about. Side note, not to get off track though, but we both served under First Sergeant Michael Barcina at the time.
Yeah.
Can you give me a story about serving under First Sergeant Barcina? Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone that you talk to from this specific time of that unit is going to have something to say positive about that man. I think he was a special human, and he understood humans and soldiers and personalities better than anyone I've ever met. And he always said we have to manage personalities. Like that was crucial for him. Everyone played a role. Everyone had some sort of potential. It was just identifying where they best fit in that puzzle to make the team work, right? And
Dig it.
he was very, very hyper aware of that. And I remember him saying that I enjoy working in the support elements because everyone in the support elements comes from struggle. They don't want to fight anymore. They want to work together as a team. And his assessment was that guys that focused on combat arms, that wanted to go look for a fight, were people that grew up under privilege and they didn't know what it was to struggle. And that always resonated with me and always stuck with me. And it's something that I still think about often when I'm assessing employees or people, like who's got that grind in them, who's understands struggle and sacrifice, and who's going to be on my team. I know it's not necessarily a story per se about Barcina, but it's something that sticks with me constantly every day when I run my business. Like that man has instilled so much in me as a human. I'm forever grateful.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I appreciate that, man. That's dope. That's a dope ass story. Man, that's a good one. Now, all right, to segue though, have you ever served under toxic leadership?
Have I? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I would venture to say that, whether a lot of us realize it or not, there was a lot of toxicity in 164 as a whole. We were just most of the soldiers, let's say, were shielded from it. Like we lost a couple guys on that first deployment in Baghdad, and it was one of them was a result of toxic leadership. At the end of the day, a certain mission didn't need to take place, but because of a leader's ego, that mission took place, and one of my good friends died. And it was just the nature of the beast, something you had to accept. And I don't think that some of these officers realized the seriousness of their next OER bullet was, if that makes sense.
I dig it. No, that's real, man. That is real. We'll talk. We're gonna get more into losing people over there and stuff like that. But can I get your Mount Rushmore of leadership you served under or served with, good sir?
Yeah. Barcina's number one, by far the best leader I've ever had the pleasure of working with or working for. Um, Lieutenant Matt Stoltz, who's now a major now, he's about to retire. Phenomenal, phenomenal
Stokes,
guy.
what's going on,
Um,
man?
yeah, he's not the normal leader, but he understood soldiers very well and could
Right.
relate. Um, Southern was a solid leader. Solid leader. Still talk with Staff Sergeant Southern, or I think First Sergeant Southern now. He just retired out.
Tell him I said what's up, G. You tell him I said what's up.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's always a handful of guys that just stick with you when it comes to the leadership side, and as you grow as a human and as a man, like you take little pieces and little nuggets of what you learned along the way and kind of employ it on your own.
I'd say that's the real shit. That's real. I dig it. All
Yeah.
right. All right. What was your first deployment like for you?
Easy, long, very long. That first one to Baghdad, I think that was like 15, 16 months.
Yeah, something like that.
It was,
Something like
yeah, it
that.
was part of the surge. I took my leave way too fucking early, way too early for that long of a deployment.
That's real.
But young
That's real.
Private
I
Egan
can't
was
complain.
itching to
I
get out
can't
of there.
wait. I can't complain.
But no, it was easy and repetitive, right? Like, we had some missions that were iffy and things that went down, but at the end of the day, like, our job was to put barriers in place to protect roads and
Hmm.
refuel certain outposts and things like it was as predictable as a deployment could be for that time.
Right. Right. That's real. All right. Let's talk about
Yeah, I
what was
mean,
your best care
we were
package?
stationed on
Okay.
Liberty, right?
Yeah, on
Like, we were
Liberty. Yep.
stationed on Liberty. Like, we had the PX and all the DFACs you could want. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
a
I mean,
deployment after all my other deployments, like, a deployment doesn't get any better than being stationed at Liberty. Like, that shit was like at the
it
Ritz,
was
bro.
nice.
It was beautiful.
It was nice. It was beautiful. I mean, it was nice. When you play it back,
Yeah,
it was nice. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Especially after the second one, we had jump sites and shit and all that. I ain't like that one too. I
yeah,
mean, it was,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, compared to moving on.
yeah.
All right. Okay. On your deployments, on your main deployments, give me your top 3 songs on your playlist you listen to on your way there or back. Either way.
um, so there's a band called The Dark Mean. So in
Okay.
Afghanistan, I was constantly on helicopters.
Okay.
Um, and there was just a certain song that resonated with me when it came to just being on a helo. So the Dark Mean was constant. I listened to a lot of 36 Chambers
Okay.
um, on both on my first and second deployment, um, and a lot of a group called Atmosphere, just because they're a Minnesota-based rap hip hop group. So I try to keep shit
Yeah.
local when I can.
Okay. All right. All right. What is one of your excuse me? What is one of the best care packages you got while you was deployed?
Oof. My my grandfather served briefly in the army when he was younger, and he always valued, like, we come from a big Italian family, and he always valued like getting Italian meats and cheeses sent to him. So on my first deployment, I got this care package full of like provolone, Parmesan cheese, like sticks of salami, sticks of
Right.
pepperoni. And back then, dude, I was a bigger guy. Like, I'd fuck that box up. I'm walking in the DFAC with my own stick of pepperoni. By far the best box.
Yeah, yeah, that's real. Okay, due to you being deployed, has that affected how you on your relationship with your friends and family? Let's go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There was a big chunk of time that it took me a while to come back, right? Like, you come home,
Hmm.
but when you get out, like, I was not the same person, and there was a
Right.
lot of resentment, a lot of anger. I couldn't connect with my friends, couldn't connect with my family. Um, yeah, I definitely affected it, and then you add on top of that, like, the normal transitional stuff that soldiers go through, but also my specific job, like, really corrupted my mind in the sense where you have this idea of what the world is, you have this idea of what your service is, and then doing intelligence work, you kind of see behind a curtain, so to speak, and it changed the way I viewed things a lot.
Yeah, man. I know it did. It had to, bro. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I didn't go behind. I didn't go in that black room. I didn't get to go. I didn't get to keep going up and doing all that stuff while I work in the black room. But I know it has to, man. Like, it takes a toll. I mean, I don't know what kind of if you experience nightmares and shit like that. If you want, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, bro. But
I mean, all of the above, right? Like, it's just part of it, and
yeah,
over time things get easier, and fortunate for me, like, I was able to find a certain medicinal regimen that helped, but at the end of the day,
right.
like, it took its toll, and I'm very blessed to have the wife that I have that was there to kind of carry me through it.
When it was the toughest time in your life or transition in your life, who was there for you?
the toughest time in my life, who was there for me?
Like doing the military
My
service or
wife.
even post. Yeah,
Yeah, my wife, period, flat out. Like, you know how it is, man. When you're in the service, like, if you're married, that's all you got. You know, you're both in a different place together. You might have friends in your platoon or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, you come home, you've just got that one person, and that by far is my best friend. She held it down for me many, many times for many years, and still does. Still does.
that's real. What was the hardest day you experienced while serving?
Um, there's a few. There's a few. Um, you know, I would say that that first deployment, a guy I went to high school with, we were serving in different units, didn't even know he was in the military. Um, and I was walking by a chapel, and it just so happened that there was a memorial service for PJ Miller, as I was walking by. And that was the moment that it got real for me. You know what I mean? Like, here I am. I went to high school with this kid. I didn't know he was serving, but now, like, his memorial is on, Fob Liberty. Like, and I'm walking by it. Like, it changed things a lot that day. Like, it definitely did.
Damn, that's real. That's real.
Yeah, a bit serendipitous in a very strange way.
All right, not to ask a silly question, but did your service change who you are as a person?
Did it change who I am as a person?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. How can it not? Whether you deployed or not, um, just something about serving in the military, the structure in it, changes who you are inherently, how you move day to day, right? I think that
Yeah,
anyone that says that it didn't change them is just not being real with themselves.
that's real. What was the biggest culture shock for you when you first joined? How about that?
Structure, totally, just structure, right? The discipline required. Um, I was an athlete in high school and all that, but like it's not the same by any means. Like,
Yeah,
now I got people telling me how I need to roll my underwear and how I need to fold my socks, and like that structure, that discipline was not something I was prepared for. I'm grateful
that's
for
real.
it now, but I was not
Yeah.
prepared for it.
All right, what is one memory um of your service you haven't forgot or you'll never forget?
One one memory from serving that I'll never forget.
Yeah,
There's a lot of memories from the service, right? I think you can agree with that, but that feeling you get when you come home off your first deployment and like you touch American soil and you feel that grass, right? Like, that feeling is unsurmountable. It's something you can never feel. Even when you come back on other deployments, that first one, like, you'll
that
never
first
feel that again. You'll never.
is real.
It's just an amazing feeling.
I don't even know what to like describe it to like what's close to. Like if I had
You
to pick
can't, man.
if I had to pick something, I would think maybe from like Game of Thrones, like killing killing the Ice King. Like that is about as close as you can get to how you feel when you get back, dog. I swear.
Yeah, right. Like, and
So
there's so many levels to it, man. It's like you're home, you're safe, but like, as a man, you accomplished this thing. You went to war, you came home. Like, there's so many levels to it, man. It's an amazing feeling.
I agree. I agree. How did serving affect your family or your personal relationships?
Um, it, it affected my ability to connect and communicate.
Hmm.
Um, I think when you serve, like, you're with these guys and girls to the left and right of you, and you do so much training. Everyone understands how the next person's going to move, right? How the next person communicates, where they're going to be at, what time they're going to be there. Um, you have that expectation of the people around you when you come home, and it's just not a realistic expectation. So it made it very, very difficult for me to communicate, both physically and emotionally with the people around me.
I dig that, man. All right. Hit that subscribe button if you can roll with your battle buddies on the Combat Crawl Show. No filters, no fluff, just vet stuff. And if you don't, I'm gonna tell everybody you the real Blue Falcon. What is one thing the military took from you, if any?
Innocence.
Dang.
Innocence. 100%. And
Yeah.
naivete.
Yeah. That's real, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. What moment did you realize the Army wasn't what you thought it was gonna be?
um, I think it trickles, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I was fortunate enough to experience two armies, like conventional army and then
Yeah.
special operations non-conventional. And um with that said though, I will say like that first deployment, like you really kind of realize that like everyone's just trying to make do with what they got, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's food provided and all that, but like when it's at you, when you're deployed and you're at the core of humanity and it's like eat, sleep, don't die, and that's all that matters,
Yeah.
you really see like your leaders in a sense for who they are, and they're struggling just as much as you're struggling, and everyone's just trying to fucking make it through the next day. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
like that's when I realized that like this is not this big machine. Like we're all human and we're all feeling and hurting in our own way. And it was pretty quick on though.
All right, let me ask you this question. Did you ever feel disposable and why?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that first deployment, right? Like the Crow system first came out. And if you're familiar
Oh
with the
yeah.
Crow, right?
Right.
And they chose not to field the Crow to conventional forces because of the cost. It was cheaper for the battalion to lose 4 men in a gun truck than it was for them to lose a Crow system and a gun truck. You
Mm,
know what I mean? So like that's when my mind was like, yo, like it ain't this is
that ain't
this
cool.
ain't about what we think it's about. Yeah, like it
Yeah.
it really made you think like we're just we're just a social, man. That's it. Like we're on the roster and we'll be replaced if it needs to happen
Quickly. All
very
right. What
quickly.
one quiet struggle you still deal with today?
Um, like I'm not doing enough.
Mm. You know what? I got the same. I never really thought about. Okay, I know. I'm like, okay, I get up, and the first thing I'm gonna get now, like, okay, we gotta do this. What am I do? You know what I'm saying? Like this, that, and the third.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, even when I'm chilling, like I gotta do some shit. Like something's I need to be doing.
Hmm.
Even if I just want to chill, dog. It's like I gotta be doing something.
Yeah,
I gotta be doing
can't do
something.
it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a blessing and a curse. Like it's made me successful, right? Like,
All right.
I'm starting a new business, like it's doing well, and I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing had I not if I didn't have that mindset, right? But at the same time, like it's also detrimental and you need a break and you need to chill. And it
Yeah.
has its pros and cons. But I tell you, I definitely feel like I'm not doing enough more often than I do like I feel like I am.
Yeah. I think it made me a little more harder on myself than like people say. I'm hard on myself. Like, man, because I know I could be doing more. I could be doing better, or like I could have did that better, or you know what I'm saying. I should have
Mhm.
been on top of that, whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
absolutely.
So yeah, I'm on top. Yeah, I kick myself a lot, man.
Yeah. I think
Hmm.
we all do, man. It's just part of it. I think part of growing is just understanding that you just got to be better than you were yesterday.
All right, let me ask you. Speaking of yesterday, if you could tell your younger self anything before you deployed, what would it be?
Don't sign that contract, bro.
That's real, dog. That's real.
Like $30,000 sign-on bonus ain't as much as you think it is, man. Don't sign that
Yeah,
contract.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're all right. So let me ask you this: do you feel proud, angry, or conflicted, or all three about your service?
Yeah, all the above. Like if you kind of look at the state of things, like I'm based in Minnesota right now, and if you paid attention to the news, like there's a lot going on here,
A lot going on.
and you find yourself like, this is what I went and fought for. Like this is the culmination of all that struggle and strife and loss. That's It's hurtful in a sense, right? And then, the amount of time I spent in Afghanistan to see Kabul fall the way that it did, like that was very, very painful. Like there's a pride associated to it too, because there's only a small percentage of us that actually raised our right hand and took an oath and decided to go down that path. Um, there's resentment, there's anger too, right? Like it's just part of it. Um, you're never going to agree with everything that's going on, just the way it goes.
I dig it. I dig it. All right. Now, during your military experience, did it shape how you trust people now? Like, you know what I'm saying? How you trust people now?
Absolutely. If you're not going to help me bury the body, like you're not around. You know what I mean? Um, I will say, my career path on the second portion of my Army career um, taught me a lot of things. And I find myself testing people often in little random things just to see if we jive before I kind of fully unveil myself or trust them, if that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
I dig it. That's real. I like that answer. All right, let's see. That's when the uniform came off. All right. When the uniform came off, was it harder than you thought it was gonna be?
No, no, not at all. I was done, man. When I was done, I was done. Like
Yeah.
I tell you, like, I made the transition into the intelligence work wanting to be this person that I thought I was. Um, and I just learned that I wasn't, right? Like I thought I could be this guy. I thought I could be this operator pipe hitter type guy, and that's just not how my brain works. And I think that was a harder realization, was learning that I did have limits. But taking the uniform off was easy for me. I was done.
I dig it. Hmm. That's, loving your answers, good sir. I'm telling you, transition, all this shit.
Sometimes I intellectualize things a little too much. I apologize.
No, man. What is what part of your service you feel proud and can take to the same time? All right. I don't know about this. Are there times of your service or parts of your service where you feel proud or conflicted about at the same time? Like proud and conflicted at the same time?
Yeah, for sure. Like
Hmm.
a lot of the stuff I was doing in Afghanistan was a lot of human intelligence collection, right? A lot of source operations and things like that. And, like we're collecting information of intelligence value that's absolutely saving lives. But in the same
Right.
breath, like I'm having humans that I'm befriending that then rely on me for their safety. And like that was heavy. I definitely felt conflicted about manipulating those people to get what we needed as a government for our intelligence collection requirements and things
Right.
like that. Like that was very difficult. But in the same breath, like we saw it qualify or quantify that it was absolutely helping. So it's just like I said, it's just part of it. It's just part of the game.
Yeah. All right. Since transitioning out of the military was like, you know what I'm saying, better than you thought it was going to be or smooth as you thought it was going to be. My next question, what was it like for you then? Like to come back to civilian world? Did you like
So
do contracting or a little bit, or did you still
no,
dabble with the
no, like
military or what?
no. So when I got out, because of my clearance and the job I had, there was a lot of opportunity to go contract.
Hmm.
Um, but I chose not to. At the end of the day, like the transition was very difficult for me because there was a bunch of demons that I was running from that I never faced. And when I got out, it was like a train moving 100 miles an hour, just full stop. And it took me 3, 4, 5 years to really gain my bearings and tighten up my shot group and get refocused. And it wasn't because I struggled with leaving the military. It was because I struggled with um, demons I acquired while I was in the military,
I dig it.
if that makes sense, right? So like I was,
Yeah.
I was prescribed 4,500 painkillers a year for the last 2 years I was in the military, right? So like getting out like that was a problem, right? And
Yeah.
on top of that, like figuring out ways to fix my brain and fix my mental health and all that, like it was very problematic for a long time.
That is, man. To speak on that though, to like the pill, like I always say that these shits ain't good for us. Plus, they give us so many in the sense of like shit that's not helping the, you know what I'm saying, actually get anybody get better. I'm not knocking the
Yeah.
VA because they are trying to help. You know, let me make sure I say that because you know what I'm saying it is good
Yeah.
health care and whatnot. So, but
Mhm.
they're not giving us the real remedy, to actually heal people and then like to really because you do become addicted to that shit.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, man.
Absolutely.
You just, I mean, especially when it's bad, like, I need something stronger, bro.
Yeah. It's no joke. Yeah, it's no joke. And first it dulls like physical pain, and then it dulls the emotional pain, and then that you're just kind of walking zombie, but I'm grateful for all of it because it led me to where I am now. And I know that sounds
Hmm.
corny as hell, but without all
Right.
that pain and all that strife and struggle and all of that other shit, like I hate to be corny, but you got to hunt for the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, there's some quality there, and you learn some stuff along the way that you can really use. And I'm grateful for it all.
That's real. That's good answers, man. I'm telling you, man. All right, what's the best advice you never listened to?
The best advice I never listened to. God, there's a long
Yeah.
list, bro. I'm the type of guy that's got to get kicked in the teeth at least 3 times before I learn a lesson. um, yeah, read the contract. Read the
Yeah,
contract.
man.
Like, and that applies to military life. That applies to civilian life. Read the fucking contract.
Yes, man. Every page, man. Jesus, really, yeah.
Every page.
All right, what is one thing you got left on your bucket list?
Say it again.
What's one thing you got left on your bucket list?
I want to go to an F1 race car race in Monaco before I die. That's a goal of
Very
mine.
specific. I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
I'm
Let
close.
me
I
think.
think we'll get
You
there.
know what?
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. I'm trying to think what's one of mine. I really want to bang the drum at Carolina Panthers game, like to start the motherfucker off. Like I want to hit the drum to start the game off, like
Nice.
that or
Nice.
or at the Viking Stadium or at the Vikings, either one. I did go to school in Minnesota for the record. You know what I'm saying? I got ties. Just let me Vikings
Yeah,
or Panthers, either one.
there you
Y'all give me a call. I'm there.
go.
All right. It's Veterans Day coming up
Well,
soon.
let
I
me
got
know. Let me
next
know when you're
year.
coming up. We might be able to help you out.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Get me in there,
Absolutely.
dog. That's gonna, ooh, boy, I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit the hell out that goddamn drum, start that game. What? All right. All right, let me see. What is one thing in your life that brings you the most joy in your life at this time of your life?
um, my wife, man. At the end of the day, like, just grateful every day. Every day is an absolute blessing.
Man, I dig that, man. Man, look how you sound all lover boy, man. Like the notebook in here, man. Take it down.
Like I can't. I owe that woman my life, man. I can't help it.
I dig it, man. I love too, man. That's beautiful, y'all. I'm telling you. I ain't no hater, y'all, for real. I don't want nobody like cross me. I'm not. Uh, all right. Excuse me. What is some advice you would give a young person consider joining the military right now, though? How about that?
You know, um, make sure you're getting in shape before you go to basic. It's paramount.
Yeah.
Um, but also like really look at the career fields, um, and pay attention to what the benefits are of those career fields.
Yeah.
Every young kid wants to join the military and thinks they're going to be an 18 whatever, and go some super spook or pipe hitter operator type. And that's totally possible. But at the end of the day, that's less than 1% of the 1%. So be realistic and understand what the capacity is of yourself and the job you're selecting.
That's real. My advice to somebody joining the military would be definitely look at the future. Like, what is the job after? What's the job after the military? Like, what
Mhm.
does this convert to for me to get? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we doing this for a reason. They
Yeah.
definitely gonna run you dry. So, what
Mhm.
can you do that's gonna be like that's gonna pay well when you get
Yeah.
out?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
honest.
Like, how many dudes became cops after, or prison guards? Like, because when you're getting out, you're going through these classes and they're all telling you, like, your resume, they're going to want to hire you. You're a soldier. Everyone's looking for soldiers.
Everybody's looking for all these soldiers. No. Even though it's a
No,
tax benefit and all this other stuff. So like, no.
no, sir.
I feel like I got fired because I was a veteran one time.
Yeah.
like I was coming to the job, so like I just got out too, and I was like coming to the job like, yo, we got to do this shit like right. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? What the hell? And then, like, then you get people like, you deal with civilians, so somebody start talking behind your back, like, and then you start to hear about what the fuck. You want to address it like head on. You can't. I'm starting getting HR complaints and shit. I'm like, what is going on? He talking about me. I'm over here trying to deal with. Man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm lashing out. Just
Powell's too motivated.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, what's just going on here? Shut the whole plant down. We missing shit. I was really like, oh no, I'm too hype. I'm doing too much. All right, I gotta go. It's me. Okay. I got a letter. They did fire me though. This is my real life, y'all. I'm just sorry.
It's real, man. It happens.
See. Yeah, man, it does. Is there anything you would do differently? How about that?
Yeah, a whole lot. I'd do differently. If I was still going down the military path, I probably would have switched career fields or MOSs earlier.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the biggest thing. I
Mhm.
found that I did better on the other side than I did in the 164 type environment. But yeah, I would take it more seriously, and I would try harder and
I dig it.
switch earlier.
Since freedom isn't free, how much did it cost you?
A lot. I think a big piece of me that took a long time to get back, and most of it or some of it, like, I won't ever get back.
That's honest. Damn. All right. Due to your military experience and all your deployments, we've seen 2 different wars. Iraq, you did Afghanistan also. So, do you feel like we ever won the war, or do you feel like a war can be even won?
Yeah, it's if you're looking at war as a numbers game, sure, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think wars really are won. I think there's so much loss on every side that generations are affected for years and years to come, and I'll never see the true damage that was created from my time in service, and you'll never see the true damage, because it's going to live on. Your kids are going to live it. They're going to experience it. They're going to pass that trauma on to their kids. And the same goes for our quote unquote enemies, right? Like, their families are affected, and that trauma will pass on. I don't think wars can be won.
There's so much loss, though. It is so much. You're right, though. There's levels to like losses. Just that. Yeah, so much levels,
Yeah.
man. So many levels. Yeah. I want to do my
Yeah.
kids. I mean, of course, it's called PTSD now, but like being, I guess, quote unquote, like shell shock, like the old school dudes, or, you know what I'm saying, PTSD, how they view it, like, you know what I'm saying, how they're going to treat their kids, you know what I'm saying, because of how dad was, and then how my grandkids go look at it, you know what I'm saying, granddad, this old crazy vet, old angry nigga, you know what I'm saying, walking around, rah, rah, and then he having this fucking, am I having this, am I tripping out? I don't know, you know, it's just thoughts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And like it's unfortunately just part of it. And like you do what you can to minimize as it
Hmm.
goes, right? But at the end of the day, like you can't control it all. And it will pass in some form or fashion. And I find myself thinking about that more often than I like to admit. Like, you find yourself in situations where you have to do certain things, and the actions you take will absolutely affect another human's life and their family's life. And here you are, like that human was just doing the same thing you're doing, like trying to preserve themselves, you know? Like there's levels to that, man. And I don't think it could ever it'll ever go away. And it'll be passed down for many generations, unfortunately.
Do you know? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this part or not. But now that like I guess years later, and I see what ICE is doing like today, it's like in a sense we was doing the same kind of bullshit over there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair assessment, man. The difference is, at least from what we're taught and trained and told, is that you never do that to an American on American
Yeah,
soil as an American. You know,
yeah.
um, a human life is a human life. Granted, I get that. I think it hits differently when you see an American do that to an American.
Yeah, you're right though. On American soil, I know
Mhm.
we had like it's a different cause in the fact. I'm not comparing war to this for the record. If I do keep this part, I'm not comparing that to that. Goddamn, for the record, okay. Let me just
Yeah.
say that. Ice, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Period. All right, we'll talk about your transition and what you're doing now or what you're actually doing. Like you know what I'm saying with medicinal things to help.
Yeah, sure.
So
I think the transition, it's part of the transition. Like what led me to what I'm doing now started during my transition out, right? Um, so now I am running a cannabis company in Minnesota, and we cultivate plants, we extract those plants. We have 3 dispensaries, and I was part of a task force put together by our state governor to research psychedelic medicines beyond cannabis. We're also talking like mushrooms, MDMA, and LSD, and those are all compounds that have helped me get back to being a normal human. And I think that there's something to be said for veterans specifically that suffer from complex PTSD, that giving them an outlet that's not pharmaceutical, that is natural, that can bring them back um, from the depths of hell and make them a functioning member of society, a functioning member of their family. Had I not gone through all that trauma, I would have never found these plants. Had I not found these plants, I would have never had a successful business. So all of it was necessary for me to get to where I'm at now. Every unfortunate, painful step was absolutely necessary for me to be where I'm at, and I'm grateful for that. Um, it's been 10 years in the making. I helped lobby in Minnesota to get the laws changed so we could have access to medicinal plants, and now that that was legalized, we started a company, and we're moving in the right direction.
man, now that's two directions. I got two different questions I want to ask you. I don't know if you got the chance to check this documentary out on Netflix, and these guys pretty much went to Mexico and they took, you know what I'm saying, the LSD and some other stuff like that. I don't know if you ever did some shit like that or you know what I'm saying, or tried to, what type of different, I guess medicinal therapies would you recommend? You know what I'm saying? How about that from your experience? We're not necessarily saying you're not a doctor, you're not in this shit
Yeah,
for the record. We're just saying more so like in your experience and what would you know what I'm saying? Like what are some things you dealt with
yeah,
that actually helped you? Because we all smoke. I mean, we all smoke, but you can fuck around and get a bad batch or some. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and then I mean, I can talk about some other shit.
yeah.
I don't think dabbing is really it. I don't really think dabbing is healthy for you. I don't think I was
No,
that better, but
it's not. It's not. I
it
agree with you
cannot
totally.
be. It
No.
cannot be. Side note.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I could go down a list. If you go papers or whatever. I mean, from butters to all this other shit. What are some ways
Mhm.
you recommend, like actually getting, I guess, either THC or THC properties or other, you know what I'm saying, therapies, medicinal therapies you recommend or would say? How about that?
Yeah. I think right now there's a lot of loopholes with this hemp stuff and the THCA flower that you can go buy at a gas station or a head shop in a state that doesn't have medical access or adult use access. Don't consume that stuff. I know it's easy to go buy, but it's not safe. It's not tested. It's not regulated. You never really know what you're going to get. Um, for people that aren't in states where it's legally accessible, you do what you can. I totally understand that, but just be careful because there's enough scientific data out there to show that the wrong strain or the wrong combination of these cannabinoid molecules can exacerbate underlying mental health or behavioral health symptoms. And it's even done that to me. I've dedicated my life to this plant, and I've had bad experiences with cannabis because it exacerbated my PTSD and it made me super paranoid and suicidal. Because you have to be careful with what you're consuming. I used to believe that this plant was the savior for everyone, and that's just not the reality. It can be detrimental if used in the wrong way. Carl Powell was talking about dabs. Like, there's something to be said for when something is natural and it comes from the ground, it's safe, more or less. But once we start concentrating it and increasing the potency, that's when it becomes problematic. People consumed beer for hundreds of years. We didn't get alcoholics until we started distilling it and making bourbon and vodka. Bolivians were chewing coca leaves for thousands of years. It didn't become problematic, and you didn't have crackheads stealing copper out of your AC compressors until we started compounding and concentrating that coca leaf into cocaine. You know what I mean? So, like, you just got to think about that a little bit.
That's real, though. That's real. I like to say, like Carl Powell said it. Wait a minute, man. Don't be just saying. Just saying. All right. Now, hit that subscribe button if you can roll with your battle buddies on the Combat Carl Show. No filters, no fluff, just best stuff. And if you don't, I'm gonna tell everybody you the real Blue Falcon. All right, so not to dig in your business, man, but I'm kind of jelly belly because I really wanted to start my own dispensary in say like 2017 when I first got to Washington when they like was first getting legal, right? You know, due to family things didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't cheap to do that shit. So I've been super proud of you, my man, to say like, yo, you know what I mean? Like successful, you killing it, and yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? When I'm up there, we're gonna partake and you know what I'm saying have a good time, my friend. So quick question. Where you say you got a couple of them. Where are some locations, if you don't mind telling them about the business where they can find you guys at, you know what I'm saying? So I want to tell them if it's get that money on, get some of the best in this, get the best in the state, maybe some of the best in the country.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so the third one is being built out now. We have one on 50th and Bryant in Minneapolis, another one on 44th in France in Minneapolis, and the third one is going in a city called Edina. The company is called Veris Fields. We grow our own. We use natural organic inputs. It's as clean as possible. And we use the sun just like Mother Nature intended.
Hell yeah, man. I'm proud of you, man.
If you're a veteran, come through the shop. It's buy one, get one free. Veterans smoke on Fridays, 5% off all day, every day for every veteran with a veteran's card or military ID.
Or the Combat Carl disc, you know what I'm saying? You gotta give him Combat Carl discount.
Combat Carl.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta give him that code. You say
too easy.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Combat Carl.
I'm getting y'all discounts
all day.
Because you know what I mean? Some of the best. Moving on, man.
Too
I
easy.
appreciate that,
Too
man.
easy.
All right. We'll put the fine print down the screen to let y'all know we do not ship out of state, okay? Pull up and get.
Trying to keep my license. I appreciate that.
Do not harass him. Talk about some other shit. Okay. Moving on. I just want to say to you, brother, it was an honor serving with you, bro. I had some good times with you, my dog. We had some good times, some bad times over there. We had some testing times. We were both some young men back then. And you know what I'm saying? Like we just seasoned up almost 20. I don't know how many years later it's been since the shit we went, bro. But you know, I always tell people stories about you and shit. And then but I'm gonna ask you this question. One of my favorite questions to ask all my guys is, how do you want to be remembered?
As a giving and patient man.
I dig that. I can say you
giving
are.
And patient man.
You on your way then, because I'll say that about you, dog. I say that.
Well, thank you.
I
Thank you.
definitely
I'll try to
agree
be
with
better
that.
tomorrow.
Yeah, man. I'll try to be better tomorrow every time. I mean, I'm working on it.
Right.
I think you was super dope, man. It was, like I said, it was an honor to serve with you, bro. And like, yeah, man. I can't tell the story about me without telling the story about you, brother. So you know what I mean? I gotta you know what I mean? Just
Well,
guys who I
thank you.
look who,
I
who
appreciate
helped
that.
me out on my way up or gave me some advice or you know what I'm saying, told me look left, look right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. So I just want to give you flowers, brother, for all years of service and you know what you did to the country and you know, that's all, brother. So
Well, thank you, man.
yeah.
And likewise, you're doing your thing too, right? Like I always find it interesting and fascinating to see who took what path once we got out, right? Like who went and got a job, who decided to be an entrepreneur, start their own companies and do that thing, right? So it's been a pleasure to watch you grow, and I'm looking forward to seeing much, much more from you, man.
I appreciate that, my man. So with that being said, man, salute to you, my man. Combat crawl out.
Take
Yeah,
care, bud.
yeah. Good job, boss. We did good. That's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you for tuning in to Combat Carl Show. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to hear this. For more updates and content, you can follow us on all social media platforms at the Combat Carl Show. Until next time, watch your six, keep grinding, and never let the world forget who the hell you are. Combat Carl out. That's a good one, man. Boy, you got some good answers, boy. Let's do this. Okay. All right, you did?
You good.
Okay. The setup is going to be good. This is going to be good. I got to cut this shit later. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to think. What the fuck? I wonder how long this shit been down like that, bro. That's been weird.
God, I can't see it, I promise.
All right, it's cool. I hope to God and shit later on. We'll figure it. That's not okay. My man got to my fly down, bro. This was not the style. I'm with my good friend. Hold on. What was your last rank? Time out.
What's up?
What was your last rank, bro? I forgot to ask you that.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant.
Damn, my bad, dog. I should have asked that question
You're
before I
good.
got started. Well, all right, so it's from the top. From the top. Let me just stop that one. But it got hot like during the time I was there.
Yeah, right at the
moving
end.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving the fuck up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your like. What was your worst? What was your worst day? Or what was your first best? Cut.